Sean Huckster here. Welcome to Magical Little Worlds with me. Ta-da! Today we're going to talk about Zuru's Robo Alive Dino DNA. Again, we recently did the Robo Alive Dino DNA Styracosaurus, which we did a little while ago, and we recently did the Tyrannosaurus. And I absolutely love these because while I've been doing a lot of Smashers dinosaur reviews recently, which are very characteristic, these are far more realistic. But I also love the fact that they are lit up and have DNA helixes on their bodies. But tonight, there was a third in the series, and here he is. And he is the what they call the Velocisaurus, rather than a Velociraptor, on the packaging itself. So let's talk a little bit more about what this is. First of all, it is Robo Alive from Zuru, same people that make Smashers, but they do a little more realistic dinosaurs here. And also, all of these kind of come with slime. The Smashers come with slime and kinetic sand and foam and other things. This one just comes with slime, but it is the best slime I've ever played with. Now, I dwelled on it quite a lot when I was doing the Styracosaurus review. I dwelled on it quite a lot when I did the Tyrannosaurus review. And if you want to see my review of slime, go back to this one, or maybe even this one. Tonight, I won't dwell on the slime. We'll just dwell on the dinosaur within. I'll play with it a little, but I'm not going to go crazy over it. So what this is kind of an experimental tube. And I love the base. I mentioned that before. Absolutely adore this base. And this comes this way in the store. So I bought this at Walmart. And it comes with the tail right there, and you would think, oh, people would just steal this tail, wouldn't they? Well, no, because the zip tie makes it very hard to do that. I mean, if you really wanted to, I suppose you could, but please don't. So what I'm going to do now tonight is open up the tail, just get that off there. Now, it looks like this one is a little tighter, so I'm actually going to use a very sharp knife. Be very careful if you're going to do something like this. Never point it towards you. Always point it away from you, and just do a little snap like that, and that'll clear the zip tie. And then you want to use some kind of tool underneath and get underneath there and pull. And this should come out fairly simply. And now you're free to open your experimental tube. Let's zoom out just a wee bit. Now, the first thing you do is you twist the tail, and that which locked it all down in place becomes the tail of the Velocisaurus, which I don't know why they call it that rather than a Velociraptor. That may be more technically correct. Maybe Jurassic Park made up the whole thing about Velociraptor. I don't know. But the first thing you do is unbox and build epic dinos from slime. The three to choose from would be the Velociraptor or Velocisaurus, which we get in this one. And then the other two are the T-Rex and the Styracosaurus, which we see right here. And I have to say, as a trio, if there were 12 of these, I'd probably buy all 12. But as a trio, it's the perfect number. I absolutely love them. Let's get to opening. So the first thing you do is you pop the cap off. It's kind of on, kind of hard. Whew, but if you pull, you can get it open. And this just unscrews like so. And you can place that right here. I'll put the tail in there for now. And then there's a cap here, a little safety valve, like sort of like an inner cap that you pull. And now be careful, because as soon as you pull this, the slime will be revealed. So you have your aluminum tray here, which you definitely need, and pull away. I mentioned this last time too. I saw Dan at Squirrel Stampede open one of these, and there was a bubble right here when he opened it. Now, when I opened the Styracosaurus, there was a bubble right there. And when I opened the Tyrannosaurus, there was a bubble right there. I don't know if it's just like the way it's made, but it's the coolest thing. There are these bubbles, and you can just take it and pop the bubble. This is the coolest slime ever. Like I said, I'm not going to dwell on it because I did so here. Much to my embarrassment, I went a little crazy on how cool this slime was, and I'll just do a quick recap here, but let me put this aside because this is really going to get cool. Here we go. We're going to dump out our slime, and there's our Velocisaurus head. We're going to keep going. We're going to let gravity take its course. We're lifting the tube as we go to kind of delay the coolness factor, and there it is. All the slime is out. There's nothing left in there. It is so clean. It comes out so cleanly. It's really cool. And what do we end up inside with? Well, we end up with a bag. The slime comes away really neatly. There's some little bit of residue on the bag, but that's fine. We're going to put the bag aside for the moment because the bag comes later. We're going to need that afterwards. And then so, I'm going to zoom down. I'm going to pan down and zoom in a little because this is too much fun. All right, this slime is the coolest slime I've ever seen. It is like you can pick it up and move it. It's like, oh, it's so freaking cool. I love this stuff. And when you let it sit for a while and it just sort of fills out the pan, you can fold it like pizza dough. It's really crazy cool. Most slimes really bother me. There's a couple that don't. This one, I could play with this for hours. This is really cool. But as I said, already dwelled on that. Let's move on. So you have the head of your Velocisaurus. Now, what I want to point out, it's kind of cool because this one's blue as well. There is slime in there. There's probably a slime there. But the cool thing is when you pull, the whole thing comes away clean and there's nothing left in there. And the same when you open the mouth. And I love it when you open the mouth and it looks like, it's like slimy goo from the mouth of the dinosaur. But you can just pull this and it all comes away perfectly cleanly until there's nothing left. There's a little tiny bit right there. But the whole thing comes out really clean. A little bit on the tongue. Because it's the kind of slime that kind of picks itself up and connects itself to itself. And you can use slime to clean itself, which is really cool. I'm going to actually do that just for these little corner pieces here. And it really does kind of just clear it away entirely. So let's put the head in the container over here. Moving on to one of the legs. Grab a leg and pull the slime away. I have mentioned before that this is the kind of slime that obeys orders. It does what you want it to do. And look, it comes away real clean. There's nothing inside there, that little tiny bit there. It comes away very cleanly. So we'll put that over here in the case as well. And we'll take the other large leg and pull on that. See how it's in the joint? But watch as I pull away. Clean. Nothing left in there. Get the slime off the leg and pull off the foot. And when all is said and done, you come away with a very clean foot. Very little slime left, like little tiny remnants, if any. Now we go for the arms. Interesting. Okay. I've never seen this before. So this Velocisaurus, according to the instructions from the last time, has not just arms, but has these fins. And I think what they're trying to get across here is that more recent history shows that dinosaurs had feathers. And I rather think, instead of being a bone, this is supposed to depict some sort of feathery protrusion hanging off the arm. But I don't know for sure. Let's put them over here and fish out our last one. And you will notice over time, as I've been doing this, this whole sheet has been filling slowly with slime because this slime is the coolest ever. All right. And we're going to get the slime off of here. And now we have an arm. And another bubble. Love it. All right. As I said before, once this is in this shape, you can fold it like pizza dough. It is the coolest slime I've ever encountered in my entire life. So the first one I got, the Styracosaurus, I gave the slime to my daughter. I brought her over to my house and I showed it to her. I said, you've got to have some of this. So I put it in a glass jar and I gave it to her. And because I wanted more of it, I bought the Tyrannosaur. And because there are 3 of this set, I, of course, had to buy the 3rd because, that's just the way I am. This is the coolest slime ever, but we're going to not dwell on it, as I said, and we're going to just pop it into the can. We can pick it up like this and just drop it into the canister, and it goes in so clean. Then you have to very carefully, you got to make sure you put this on because that's what keeps it fresh and make sure it doesn't leak out. Screw it on a little bit, a little tiny bit there. And then you can pop this cap on later, but for now, we'll just leave it upside down right here. And then we'll pop the cap on afterwards. So let us assemble our dino. Little tiny bit left over there. I'll leave that right there. Whoa, bud, I don't know where you're going, but you're going to just come over here for a sec. Stay. All right, but there's more. There's the bag, of course. So it's a fairly light bag because I know what's inside. We've seen a couple of these now. You tear the bag open. There's no slime in here, thankfully, because we've seen the slime. And this is a Ziploc bag, and inside is the instructions. I do want to point out that the instructions, once you've opened all this up, the instructions tell you on this side. Once you've opened up your entire thing, oh my God, where are the instructions? Yeah, that's the wrong side. Once you open up the thing, it tells you how to open up the thing. Honestly, once you've taken the tail off, opened it up and removed the slime, you can then reveal this, which tells you how to take the tail off and how to open it up and remove the slime. It's ridiculous. And there's our Styracosaurus instructions, and there's our T-Rex instructions. But tonight we're doing the Velocisaurus. You see how it's not a Velociraptor according to them? But it's beautiful. It is very much the typical Velociraptor that was popularized by Jurassic Park. And then the last little bit here is a bit of a surprise, but if you've seen other videos of this, it's not much of a surprise. Also in here, you have the Dino DNA helix, double helix, which of course is what this whole thing is about, Dino DNA. And most importantly, the body. Each of the bodies that come with these dinos have a little cybernetic component. And we'll see what that does in a minute. And there's a battery, which you can exchange the batteries if you need to. But you can see there's a little LED in there. So let's start by putting the wonderful head on. Oh, this is a great head. And that is keyed to a position. You cannot turn it once you get it in. It's not like the other Zuru Smashers Dinos where you can rotate the head. There's not really much room for that. We'll put an arm on here. So this is the arm with what I think are, well, see, this is supposed to be maybe a dorsal spine. So maybe that's also a spine, like with bone, but I kind of want to think it's feathers, to indicate that the most recent history about dinosaurs is that they didn't go away. They evolved into birds. Pretty popular opinion these days. Let's get some of that slime off me. You can have it. And we pop that on. And that's our Velociraptor, or Velocipede, or I'm sorry, our Velocisaurus arms. But now let's do the legs. So a leg comes on here. A lot of the dinosaurs from the Zuru toys show serious gouges and slashes, showing that they've been in battle with other dinosaurs. And sure, it's pretty typical. Oh, more slime. Let's add it to you. And now we have our Velociraptor, and the legs can form. And oh, this head doesn't like to stay on very well. This head is actually just on a column. There's no real snap point really, so it just kind of fits on by friction, but it doesn't snap in place, sadly, like the legs kind of do. So you can put the legs like so, and the Velocisaur can stand. But what are you missing? We're missing the piece that came off the case. Boink! And now it comes right off of here and goes right onto here. And you rotate it into place. And now you have your Velocisaurus, which is really beautiful, by the way. I must say the color is beautiful. I love the way the hinged jaw works and looks. They did a really good job of making this look real. I love it. Unlike the characteristic ones of the Zuru Smashers, which again, like I say, I do love. But now, the last piece of the puzzle is the DNA double helix, which goes into the cybernetic component. There's a little tab here, so you just you don't even have to look. You can just rotate it until it clicks into place, and then you turn it on, and you've got your double helix, which is flashing. So let's put this aside for a moment. Let's bring the rest of our cast members in place. We'll put all three in. We'll turn all of their dino helixes on. And I'm going to turn out the lights. And there are our three dinos. All of their DNA capsules are lighting up, and they all are on a fade in, fade out. I must say, this is a really cool effect. Big fan, big fan. And that's it. That's the last of the three Robo Alive Dino DNAs. Now you can take your case here. Let me zoom out a little. And take your base, pop it back on, screw it on. Leave your slime in there as long as you want. It'll be fine. And screw it into place and place it with the others. Yeah, I'm a big fan of this series, guys. I'm really a fan. I love it. So let's say goodnight. So for Sean Huckster, this has been Magic Little Worlds. Thanks for sticking with me through this journey of the Robo Alive DNA. I've had a lot of fun, and I still think this is the best slime I've ever encountered. Good night.